Thank you for joining us. This is Paul Wilson.
And Chris Emke.
And you're listening to the Diesel Performance Podcast. Chris, we are coming with a special edition of the show today.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you announce it.
It's sled pull season, baby.
It is.
It is time to get in the dirt and play. And we got some trucks going out to do it. So last week we had on Nick Pregnitz talking about drop-in turbos and just a lot of turbo information.
Yeah, basically the right turbo for the right application.
You got it. Yeah. Absolutely. A part of that is understanding performance and drivability, a mix between the two.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of trucks in-house and with employees here that we thought, hey, man, we love this stuff. We want to get out in the dirt. We want to play. What do we have? So we came up with Mike Gutshell's LML.
Yep. Mike Gutshell's 2013 LML. We have our own shop truck. It's an 06 Cummins that's been used for various testing, if you will. That thing's seen a lot of dyno time.
And Joe Hager's L5P, 2017 L5P.
Yep. And then, we have our UCC truck. Well, we called it the UCC truck for a while.
The big block Cummins.
The big block Cummins, triple S500s, just bad motherfucker.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about this project, Chris. This is something that you had brought to me probably 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Saying, like, I want to get involved on this. I want to get out. I think this is a great idea.
There's a lot of value, especially locally for us, as a company, as an organization, to show ourselves. Right, our name, it's recognized. We've sponsored, the ISP for several years, and we've done a stock turbo shootout class where stock appearing turbos and we tech and all that fun stuff, and it's been fun. And over the last couple of years, we've had one truck. A couple of years ago, we had a 2011 and 2012 LML Duramax deemed clean sweep.
Yep.
Last year, we had Project Connect, which was an 06 LBZ. Two very different trucks at different power levels, wheelbase, cab configurations, and respectfully so, they did fairly decent. And I think, they did very well. They didn't do fairly decent. They did well, respectably. But we collected a lot of data from that. We learned a lot from that. So, when we're getting into this year, Paul, you and I, along with Nick and a couple other employees here, we get to this round table every May. And it's like, okay, what truck are we buying? What truck are we setting up? And, it's
never an official meeting, by the way. It's always something we just spring on.
Yes,
on the staff.
But it's going to happen. Like, Nick avoids it because he doesn't want to spend the money. Like, let's just face it. And we thought, we've done an LML. Yeah, we could bring an LML back. Yeah, we could get into a Ford. Yeah, we can get into an L5P.
I remember this being a very passionate argument. Like, it was well beyond conversation.
It was. Like, in the old shop, especially in a tighter area, like, you wanted to slap me. Nick was, like, looking at both of us, just shaking his head like, assholes, this is not your guys' money. But we came to the drawing board where, Joe Hager, that's his personal 2017 L5P.
Yep.
Mike Gutshell, that is his own personal 2013 LML. They both had goals in turning the truck up and wanting to kind of go through the motion of, these are trucks that, for someone like Hager, he talks to guys on the phone all day long about this stuff. Gutshell, he works on these trucks all day long.
Yeah.
Why not experience it yourself?
And they want to, right? I think that's the exciting thing here is we took guys who were in-house essentially, and listen, they are diesel enthusiasts. Yeah. They didn't always have the opportunity to go out and compete with their trucks, though. So here was an opportunity for them to do what they wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And, hey, a great opportunity for us to be able to, like you said, collect some data on this and see what's going on.
Yeah, and I think, the other truck that we have, the 06 Dodge, we call it Mavtron. Should we cut that?
Yeah. Justin, that's a cut there at 402 back.
I'll start with 06 Cummins.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You ready?
Yep.
And then we have the 2006 Dodge Cummins that has, one of our Stealth 67s on there. That's been our test bed for that. That'll be a mix of driving between probably Nick, myself, and Tim Mahoney. Through the amount of pulls that we have. In that truck, it blew our minds on the dyno. It made an impressive number.
Yeah.
We went to the drag strip, and I just want to point, when we went to the track, 6 years ago, Nick had a white crew cab short bed 06 Cummins.
Twin
turbo, very similar fuel system on 35s, and the truck went 1140s. Now we have 5-6 years later, a stock appearing drop-in turbocharger, the same mile an hour, the same horsepower, the same track times, the whole 9 yards. That turbocharger is a fraction of the cost, and they drive very similar.
Yeah, for real.
It's going to be really exciting to get that in the dirt, see what it can do, see how it performs up against a lot of other trucks. In the stock appearing class, you have S300 style turbos that could potentially pull other modified HE351 turbos across the market from other various vendors and stuff.
Let's be real. We've pulled twin turbo trucks in this class before. I mean, they mildly tech this class, I guess is the best I could say.
You know what? I'll give
safety features.
I'll give the ISP credit. Depending on the pull and depending on the knowledge at that given pull, they'll tech and they'll plug every turbo, things like that.
Yeah.
Or they're just pop the hood and look. But I feel like over the last 4 years of me and you getting into this, I feel like the requirements are becoming a tad tighter. I say that loosely, but I feel like they are starting.
Safety stuff.
The safety stuff, definitely.
They want us to throw hoops on it this year.
But they definitely do check under the hood.
Right.
So I'm really, really excited for that. And then I think I'm like the most excited for Nick to get out the 2011, the triple turbo big block truck.
Yeah.
That truck, we've driven it on the street now. We've gotten some dyno numbers out of it. I want to see that thing work. Like I've seen that thing boosted launch on the street. I've seen that thing do some heaters.
It throw a rod.
You know what? I've seen it throw a rod. I was there in the mesh, in the flesh, I should say. So I'm very excited to see that thing. I've been hearing Nick sound like a broken fucking record for 6 years, saying, "Oh, I want to do a big block in a pickup truck. Dude." It's like, Nick, shut up. And now it's here. And it has a motor that should stay together.
Right. Well, yeah, at least for a pull. At least
to show the crowd a good time.
Now, that truck's not going out tonight, but we're recording this on Wednesday the 31st.
Yep.
We're going sled pulling. Well, I'm leaving in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Really excited for this. I think the other piece that we've kind of danced around here, we have 2 emissions-equipped trucks sled pulling. Now, we have done emissions-equipped before, but Mike Gutshell's LML, we haven't rolled it on the dyno yet. The thing literally just got finished putting back together today.
Yep.
I'd expect that truck to be around high 600s, low 700. I don't think it'll quite hit that 700 number, but I think it'll get real close.
Well, we've used a lot of stuff that we've learned with the LML in prior years, and we're incorporating that.
Well,
now.
Again, and that's where I'm going is before that was a twin turbo to hit that power level, right? With emissions equipped and still keep it together. Mike's been driving it. With this turbo on there, I think he's going to have a real shot at putting some power down.
And I mean, I like how you said danced around or didn't bring it up. Well, because emissions equipment to us is just it's a normal thing.
Right.
To every other guy, not every other guy, but to most diesel enthusiasts out there, the emissions is a swear word. They think it's a bottleneck. So, for me, I don't think that's like a bottleneck. I don't think that's an odd component to keep on the truck for power.
Well, here you go though. Talking about learning stuff, I even remember when Danny was pulling DT clean sweep. It was a big deal that he had to make sure it went into regen before he pulled.
Yeah.
Now we just recently did a soot accumulation testing to see what horsepower we were making based on soot load. We found out that at 40% and at 98%, there was no difference in horsepower output. So we're making the same horsepower, we're making the same torque. It's just been interesting to see those little things that, hey, even we're at the forefront of emissions equipped power. Yeah. We're learning things.
I mean, we learn on all 3 platforms. Nick drives one of the Fords on a daily basis. We have the 15 Cummins. We have Tim's 2019 F250 and an L5P. A couple emissions equipped LMLs in the fleet. Amongst the employees here. So every day it's a learning experience. One thing I learned from Nick years ago is you're always going to learn something. You never know it all.
And hey, speaking of learning something, we got a guy on the show today who's going to be learning a lot, and that's one of the drivers of the trucks that we're going to sled pull with. So without any further ado, let's kick it over to Joe Hager and talk a little bit more about his L5P. All right, guys, it's time for your favorite portion of the show. Calibrated Power presents our special guest. Today, Chris and I are talking to somebody who's a real diesel performance enthusiast. This reminds me of one of our old school original Reader Ride episodes. We got Joe Hager in house. Joe, how the hell are you?
What's going on, guys?
No, we're doing good. We're excited. This is the launch of something that Paul and I have been putting together for the last few months. Justin, a couple of the other guys here. you're going to be out doing a series of sled pulls with a not so average in the current day truck, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, what's the truck that you're going to be doing the series
Whoa,
of sled?
whoa. Whoa.
What?
All of our guests get the respect of having to tell us what got you started in diesel performance.
Damn, just like that? We can get back to that.
Boom. Start us there.
Paul is very structured. He likes...
Follow the outline, asshole.
There is no outline. Do your job.
No, I mean, I don't know. Last time we did the podcast a while ago. Obviously, me and Chris did the ride along, in both compliant trucks and stuff. So it's definitely something new to me. Being
Hold on, stop. How did you get into diesel performance? Paul just asked. He overrode my question.
I've always, I don't know, ever since I've been out of high school, I've always been around it. I had a buddy. He always had diesel trucks and stuff. So I guess that was my introduction into it all. Started buying trucks, started, doing small modifications to them, transmission, turbos, all the other stuff. So that's kind of how I got into it. And then I started going to all the, diesel events like the Byron diesel blackouts and, sled pulls here and there with buddies and stuff. So I've kind of always been around it and stuff like that. And, it's definitely exciting starting to get into it and, actually being able to hook for the first time. So,
okay. So what was your first diesel?
I had a 97 7.3 Power Stroke.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was, I think 17, man.
And you loved them so much, didn't you have two of them at one point?
Yeah, I had one. Yeah, honestly, I loved it so much. Got another one.
This is such a good idea. I'm going to do it twice.
Right, yeah.
Says no one ever.
Yeah, exactly. Had transmission issues with both of them.
Those were automatics, yeah?
Yeah,
okay.
E4ODs or whatever in them. And then got the LB7, had an LB7 for a while. That one got totaled. Then went to an LBZ. Got rid of the LBZ, bent a rod in the motor, got the LML.
You went mudding and sucked up some water, if I remember?
Oh, yeah. It sucked it right into the intake and just bent the rod. And then
typical kid.
Yeah, exactly. Dumbass. And then got rid of the LBZ, got an LML.
And then that's where the Mo Nolly Instagram name came from.
Pretty much, yeah. That sparked everything. People call me Mo, you guys obviously. Yeah. And then, drive a Denali, so why not just Mo Nolly, So had that, yeah.
So obviously my Instagram name was Mo Nolly, clearly.
Like when he first started working here, he had his Instagram handle, like he was one of those guys like on the truck and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I followed him, so
yeah,
it worked.
I remember when you interviewed and I stepped out
oh, God.
To go take a break right after I had talked to you for a little bit and just died laughing. I was like, hire this guy right now.
So just a little background. So when he first came in for his interview, he just got his LML, or his 2012 Denali, and he had these ginormous traction bars on the truck.
Yeah.
And it said hashtag fuck your 6 liter, fuck your 6.0.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's bold. And I asked you, what was the reason behind that? Why did you have those stickers on your traction bars?
So there's this kid in Schaumburg. I'm not going to say names, but he has a 6 liter and everything, and he thinks it's like every 6 liter guy. I mean, yeah, they're nice trucks, but I mean, they all think they're fast and they're big and bad, and I mean, I had to show him what's up. So I was just like, no one cares about it. I mean, I've seen those guys out there. No one cares about your Cummins, bro. So I was just like, hashtag fuck your 6.0. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, come on, dude. So
that was bold.
Yeah, I mean, that one kind of just stuck and just kept it on there. Everyone loved it. I was going to keep it on for a little bit, but everyone's like, nah, dude, that's too good to take off. So
then you had that, and then you some of our listeners might have seen some of the diesel insights and other videos that we do over at DuramaxTuner.com, CalibratedPower.com, and we did this. You had a white LB7.
Yep.
That had a host of modifications on that, made some strong numbers.
Yep.
And originally you were going to sled pull that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I was going to sled pull it. My plans with it were to sled pull it and dirt drag it. Obviously, I had the itch, so before I was able to get any dirt drags, I went and we brought it to the track. We went to GLD, ran some times with that, and then had my fun with it. Like you said, it made good power, but I just thought, the time came up, someone was interested in it, so I just decided to sell it. Like I said, it was a very fun truck. It's just at the time, right now I didn't really need it, so got rid of it.
So we'll go to present time. So you had a 2012 LML, got rid of that.
Yep.
You pretty much had every RPO as far as Duramax is concerned, minus LOI and LMM. Yep. Got rid of the LB7, deals you just couldn't pass up. And what ended you going with now? What do you have? So
right now I currently have a 2017 L5P. I bought it completely bone stock from the company. It was a shop truck. I guess you could say it was tuned and everything. Yeah. So I got that truck, and then I was like, I want to see how far we can go with it. So I was like, let's do a Bill Trans in it. So I did the DT 750 in it. Truck makes good numbers, still the same. I think it's like 550 rear-wheel horsepower, something like that. Great truck, have fun with it. So after we did the trans in it, drove it a little bit more, fell in love with it even more from that point on. Then we went ahead and did a set of Longhorn traction bars on it. And then, I just started bringing it to the track and stuff. And, I just want to open up my, mind, I guess, and try new things. And like I said, it's always been sled pulling's been in the back of my mind. So, it's a perfect time to get started now.
Yeah. And I think for our listeners to make the point here, what's really exciting about this project, what Chris and I and the team and Joe and everybody's been working on is putting together an emissions-equipped sled pull truck that's obtainable. That's not necessarily when we did last year, we did the $15K budget build. A lot of guys, we do have guys come to us with $15,000 and they want to build a truck and they want to sled pull all season. A lot of guys don't have $15,000 to throw at mods and they just want their daily driver to sled pull. And we thought, hey, how cool would it be if we could take this truck that's at 550 horse, has the supporting mods like the built trans, the traction bars, the little things like that. What if we could throw this on the track? This is very obtainable for an L5P owner. How will it do?
Well, I think what's really interesting is they're starting to, in the sled pull sanctions, the stock turbo classes are coming up.
Yeah.
Not stock appearing, stock turbos, non-modified stock turbochargers on a truck. And especially like the L5P at, 550 horsepower, but the torque.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes incredible torque for a very broad power band. So,
sure.
That's where I think I'm most excited. And, there's not a lot of, I'm not going to say that there's not any, because there's definitely guys out there sled pulling with their L5Ps, but there's not as many as the older RPOs. And now let's throw, emissions equipped into the mix, which even to this day, there is definitely some confusion, right, in the industry
Sure.
amongst emissions equipment. So
to say it lightly.
We, one of the things that wasn't touched on, Manfred sent us some badass traction bars in a quick time. We have the tuning from Calibrated Power Duramax tuner, so all that's squared away. What's the appearance package of this truck look like right now, man? We've done some posts and things like that, but I haven't seen the truck in a week.
Yeah, so we pretty much came together. We sat down. We're like, hey, let's wrap the trucks for sled pulling season. So I was like, yeah, cool. So me and Paul sat down with Mike as well, and we kind of came together on a wrap idea. We kind of didn't know what we were going at. Tim kind of shot me an idea. He's like, yo, let's do like a
These are other guys that work over at Calibrated Power.
Yep. He was saying let's do like a sand desert camo type deal, and yeah, it sounded cool, but I wasn't you know what I mean? I didn't know how it would look, and then I just typed in it was like an urban, like a red urban camo kind of deal. So I looked it up and I was like, that looks pretty sick, and Paul agreed, that looked pretty cool and everything. So we ended up doing that. I think the wrap turned out amazing. It's definitely an eye catcher, you know what I mean? Definitely driving down the road when I had it, people are definitely pointing it out, like, you could see them looking and stuff. It's definitely a unique truck, you know what I mean? You don't see many of them, especially being on a brand new pickup truck, you know what I mean? So it's definitely an eye grabber. I think it turned out sick, man. I can't wait to see it.
He's being so modest about
this. Well, it's camo. That's why I didn't see it.
Yeah.
So bad.
But no, I will say on my Snapchat story the other day, I posted yesterday, he has some tire clearance issues. So I was like, damn, the camo can't hide the clearance. Right?
Yeah, dude. Jesus.
And I had 3 people message me like, yeah, I just saw that truck in Woodstock. That thing is obnoxious. Like it is loud. You cannot miss it.
Yeah.
At all.
So Joe's also being super modest about this. How I remember this story going down was the company said, hey, we want to wrap your guys' trucks. You're like, you guys are running this emissions-equipped sled pull idea for the company. We want to step in, do something cool for you. We want to wrap the trucks. And my deal was, I want you guys to love the wrap.
Yeah.
So bring me whatever you want, as long as it's not,
right.
fuck your 6.0 down the side of the truck. It'll probably get approved.
Ha, got him.
Joe shoots me a Slack message with this red digital camo, and I was like,
oh,
yeah, that's wrong. Like is what I'm saying in my head. I'm like, this isn't going to work. Like, this looks cool. And like, I'm trying to look up car examples because like there's no other trucks that I could find that had it. And I find some cars and I was like, damn it, these cars look kind of cool. He's going to like it. And then we bring the other guy on. So you guys are also going to hear from Mike Gutshell, who's sled pulling with an emissions equipped truck. We'll have that show coming for you in the next day or two. Yeah. But Mike came in, and Mike was going to do his own idea. So we were going to have 2 different trucks that had 2 totally different wraps, and just, we put the company logos on them and sticker them up. Mike came in and like saw what Joe was doing. He goes, Oh yeah, I'll do that. And they did. It came out phenomenal. The truck looks fucking amazing.
The wrap is gorgeous. Attention to detail with like the emblems and stuff getting wrapped as well or matched.
Yeah.
It is. You look at the hood, right? You look at the hood scoop, and then you go to look for the GMC logo, and it's actually harder to see because of the camo. But if I could use one word to describe the wrap, it's loud.
Yeah.
The truck is very loud.
Yeah, for sure. Which matches Joe. Joe Hager.
1,000%.
Perfect.
He absolutely
nailed it.
loves it. I've seen more posts of his camoed truck in the middle of like yards and farm fields and
behind warehouses. Like, were you shopping the other day and just pulled behind the behind Walmart and took a picture next to the dumpsters? And I'm like, I don't get it.
Man, I plead the fifth on that one.
Yeah, yeah. That's Mo Nolly on Instagram.
So, getting back to it
real quick on the wrap. Big shout out to XDP. If you guys haven't checked out Extreme Diesel Performance, they sponsored the wrap on our trucks. Huge thank you to those guys, along with the other sponsors, DHD, Longhorn Fab Shop, Exergy Performance, Duramax Tuner, Stealth Series Turbos.
Awesome. So I guess, to dive into this, what is your expectation?
So, like, are you saying, like,
what's your expectation with the truck? Like, what are you looking to, accomplish?
Right. So, obviously sled pulling is my first time doing it. So it's a points thing from what I can kind of, figure out and everything. So I'm going to try to go out there. You know what I mean? I don't have a go out there to, break hearts or, do anything like that. I'm just going to go out there and, give it the best I can and see how many numbers I can put down for the season. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's the first time doing it. So I'm kind of more excited than, I'm really ecstatic right now. I don't know if you guys could see it, but I can't wait later to, actually get hooked to the sled and everything like that. And, I want to see how good we could do with a compliant truck this year. You know what I mean? Just put up those numbers because there's not many guys doing it. Yeah. If I could put my bet in, I guarantee there's not going to be another compliant, L5P out there tonight. I mean, there could be.
The only thing that I ask is don't make Paul and I look like assholes more than we already do.
No, I mean...
Well, what I think is interesting here, Chris, is as you ask him that, I was kind of thinking the same thing last week when we were talking about this, Joe. And again, we did Clean Sweep 4 years ago. 3 years ago. That was an emissions-equipped LML truck that went out sled pulling. I think it did 10 pulls, 7 pulls, something like that. Hey, it kicked ass. It took some first-place finishes, took a whole bunch of top 3 finishes. Everybody was really, really surprised. That truck was set about 520 rear-wheel horsepower at the beginning of the season. I think we ended the season about 640 when we added a turbo to it. Joe's truck, okay, and then we did the LBZ budget build last year.
Right.
That's a 770 horsepower truck.
Yes,
760.
It was stock, whatever.
I got
still made 700.
I got some dyno numbers that would blow your mind of the tune that they actually had in it. So they pushed that truck well beyond where I thought they ever would, especially on a stock block. And that truck did great, but Tyler didn't go out and pull every night first. He wasn't 60 feet above the competition where he should have been bumped up into another class. It was a really, really competitive truck, and he did great with it. Fought some breakage issues, but no problem.
Right.
Joe, you're going in at 550 horsepower. You're the most obtainable power level, most obtainable parts package we've ever put out in the dirt for a company vehicle, for something that the company would get behind and sponsor. We've never done something at this low of horsepower.
Right.
I think I'm pretty interested just to see, can the truck take the abuse? Yeah. I mean, I know these L5Ps are stronger. I know they're great trucks.
Well, there's a lot of stuff in the market, in the industry right now, breaking L5Ps, peak power on engine dynos, at various companies.
Yeah.
Here's the truck in a full package going out and doing business.
Right.
So
I'm just interested to see can this thing hold up? Where are we going to find the weak points? Every time we get into a new RPO, it's a couple of years before guys are willing to really abuse the hell out of them, especially in this stock of form. Mm-hmm. Hey, we do the traction bars preemptively on this truck because we know that there's going to be axle wrap with the torque load we have. But I am interested to see where else do we find the weak points? What other problems, pop their heads out as we start to do this? Because with the LBZ budget build, we did not plan to do a custom one-piece drive shaft. We did not plan to go through 4, 6, 10 sets of CV shafts up front.
Two transfer cases.
Like, we didn't plan on any of those things. But and after the inspection at the beginning of the year,
just thinking of all those.
Yeah. Notice we never posted the final budget.
Well, there goes that one.
Right. But that was a really interesting project. This one, I think it's very different to where we have something that I see as unproven. I haven't seen the L5P go out and sled pull 7 or 10 times in within 2 or 3 months.
Well, you're about to.
Joe, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about strategy for sled pulling. Now, I know you got some drag race experience. I've seen you run down the strip, and I know you got quite a bit of experience before that. This is your first time hooking up in the dirt, though.
Yep.
What have people told you? What do you know now?
Well, I know a handful. I mean, obviously, I've had a lot of buddies that have done it. You know, I've had my buddy Grant. I've watched them pull a lot. Obviously, you know, I'm going to probably want to put it down in, like, you know, manual, tap it into third, and just keep it in that. No reason to go anything past it. You know, like I said, the truck's not making outrageous power numbers, and I'm not going out there to break stuff, but obviously, you know, stuff happens like that. But, you know, mainly just keep an eye on things. You know, if it starts to hop a bit, either lay into it a little bit more, and if it starts to get a little bit worse, you know, just get out of it. There's no point in, you know, really stressing the truck out or anything like that. But mainly just keep an eye on things. Make sure, you know, you're going straight down the track. You know, make sure that, like I said, if you feel something wrong, just get out of it. You know what I mean? I'm not going out there, like I said, to break hearts or, you know, make the crowd jump. You know what I mean? I'm just going out there for pleasure to see what, you know, we could do with the truck. We've put all the, you know, money into it, and, you know, there's a lot of R&D in the side of things that the guys have done for the truck, you know, to get it set up for this. And, you know, I'm pretty excited, and I guess we'll see later when I'm actually sitting in the driver's seat on the track. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it.
Well, I mean, that wraps it up. I think, Paul, we'll do a follow-up, you know, after a couple pulls, kind of, you know, have Joe's nerves a little more calm.
Yeah, if you guys want to follow along on this project, jump on over to the Duramax Tuner YouTube channel, the Duramax Tuner Facebook channel.
Instagram.
We'll have all of the pulls sectioned out and posted right after we pull. Good, bad, or ugly. We'll be posting all of the footage. And then, of course, we have our producer, Justin. He'll be working on some of the video edits and putting together some longer tail videos, talking more about the project and keeping you guys updated along the way. For today, this has been Paul Wilson.
And Chris Hemke.
Thanks for listening.
And it said hashtag fuck your 6 fuck your 6.0. Yeah. And I was like, that's bold.